All right, welcome back to the World Championship Series as we have our final series of the night. It's going to be uThermal going up against Welmu once again. They've already played tonight, and it looked relatively one-sided.
One question.
Yes?
Will the SCVs work, Colaris? uThermal versus Welmu. The rematch, as you can see, it was the very first game of the evening, but now this time, the bracket's confirmed. I stamped confirmed.
We did not know that was going to happen.
Through in first place, confirmed. And now uThermal and Welmu will face off in the bottom. That caught me by surprise. Actually,
I didn't know it was going to happen.
That was quite good. Well done, producer Matt. That was good. I was getting all...
Our stupid reaction.
It's because it was an awesome idea, which actually now confirmed. Tilo first place.
All right.
If only that would have been so much cooler if I was like, you remember what I was on about before? I'm like, oh my God, there it is. Whoa. Yeah, Tilo confirmed first place. But yeah, back to the actual question. Are we going to see the SCV polls again?
Yes.
Are they going to work?
Maybe.
Well,
there you go.
I guess we'll find out, because that's probably what it's going to be mostly about this next series, because that seems to be uThermal's key to victory. But Welmu knows it's coming, so you know, what is Welmu going to do? Is he going to trick out? Is he going to go back to Stormfast? Is he going to try his double forge again? What is he going to do? He's
got to do something. He's got to keep his army intact, that's for sure. Like, again, coming back to Nimbus that we were playing on, it was Nimbus, right? I can never remember between these maps anymore. Is that he had the opportunity to defend on his ramp, defend well, but didn't. He just kind of went straight into EMPs when he could have defended on that ramp, which is all important on a map like that.
Right.
So he had the opportunity in game number 2 to defend, just didn't really work out. It could have gone a different way.
Do you think that Welmu goes aggressive himself to avoid the scenario of an SCV pool working, or do you think he just tries to solve the problem itself by doing something different, more so than changing the whole game?
That's a really, really good question.
You think he goes for like a crazy 2 base, something that, hits before the SCV pool comes?
He could, because that's the kind of thing that I normally think of Welmu. I normally think, ingenuity, diversity in builds, something to... And a problem solver more so than not.
Right.
Like, whenever I watch him play in series, I think of him as a problem solver, and I think he would probably categorize himself as that kind of player as well. But right now, in this group, today, on this stage, he hasn't looked exactly like that player. So I think he might let it come again, especially in the first game.
Okay. Well, the players are going through the veto system right now, or going through the veto process, should I say, just getting rid of the maps that they don't want to play and the maps that we will play on will be decided shortly. So I think there's going to be a lot of thought process going into this now, in the map vetoes, knowing that the SCV pools are quite likely to come. And it's not just uThermal, it's Terran overall. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder what Welmu's thinking at this point.
I like how our producer is watching 3 minutes in the past with glee at his achievement, mounting him. Anyway, because we have a 3-minute delay here. But anyway, so we're just waiting for these guys to get the vetoes done. They are taking a little bit longer than normal, but that's fine. We have fun here at the World Championship Series.
Of course we do. Yeah, it's good to... I just wonder what... Well, I mean, I'd love to ask Welmu what he's thinking about and how he's going to approach this. That would be the question I'd ask him for sure. I don't really care too much about uThermal, what he's thinking. Because I think he's probably just going to do the same or something similar.
Yeah. I suspect so as well. But he did make it look good. The thing is the way he's SCV pulling is a slightly different flavor to how we're normally seeing it, right? With the...
It's a bit faster.
Yeah. The customary 2 starports with then eventual add-on of 3 ghosts if you really want them later on, but...
Yeah, I mean,
this one is quick.
As much as we talk about the strategy of what was most likely going to happen, because we've already seen it once today, we can't, avoid the discussion on Welmu's never finished lower than the top 12. He's always been that player, and he's facing elimination right now. uThermal could kill him. Right now, and uThermal could go to the round of 16 for the first time himself today, or second time, should I say. First time, should I say. I always get confused with uThermal and LiveZerg in today's group. It's uThermal who hasn't been. It's LiveZerg that has been.
Yeah.
So, you know, uThermal could go there for the first time for himself now if he beats him again, like he's already done.
Yeah, and that'd be really cool because so when I think uThermal, I actually think way back to 2012, where this guy turned up to the Netherlands and Belgium WCS finals. Way back then, when Grubby won Netherlands, but uThermal was there. uThermal was there under a different name. I can't quite recall the name. And he took third to, you know, Rhett and Grubby and those guys there. But now, watching him, how he's progressed from the timid, like, shy player that he was there to now on this big stage in Premier is such a transition, such a amazing story.
You know, uThermal and Harston, both from the Netherlands, have really just shot up in terms of what they've done in the last year or two compared to where they were before. And both of them are becoming, you know, top-tier European players here and, you know, fighting with the best. And uThermal, you know, I said at the start of the broadcast, has a massive chance here to go through over Welmu, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. So as much as, you know, Welmu is that guy, is that consistent Protoss who's always getting these good results in, the guy that always does the R's and, you know, the Bumblebee Protoss, the guy that can beat these Koreans, uThermal could go through. And I think it's quite, I wouldn't say super likely, but very possible.
You giving it a 60-40, 70-30? What are you going?
I say 50-50, and I think that's really generous to uThermal considering Welmu.
Fair play, fair play. I can completely understand that. You know, I mean, Welmu always brings the quality, like the veterancy over uThermal in comparison, but uThermal's here to take names. He's here to prove people wrong, and so far he's found himself to this last game, and he's beaten this guy already.
Yeah.
He can do it again. This could happen.
How do you say his last name? Schlappy? That was my pronunciation. Because I know Dutch has a lot of so is it Schlappy?
It's like...
That sounded very Dutch, what I just said, so I think I could be right.
Whenever no, I'm not going to say that.
So, I mean, there's a lot of Dutch people watching, obviously, right now, so please tell me off. Because I'm sure...
Schlappy.
Is it Schlappy or is it Schlappy? Because I think it's got the...
Oh, actually, no, that sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it sounds really Dutch.
That sounds like...
I think I might have nailed it.
You know how you say Schenkerhausen, you know, with Grubby?
Oh, no, I can't do Grubbies.
Oh, no, he always does this with his mouth. Schenkerhausen. How?
Well, with...
How? He does that. That's how he taught me it. How?
Okay, I don't know. I mean, I've known Grubby for a long time now, and I still cannot pronounce his last name. But that uThermal's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so game is loading. Nimbus is going to be the first map between these two players to decide out who goes through, who doesn't go through. It's two young players that we have in the Premier League going up against each other. It is Finland versus the Netherlands, and only one can go through with TLO. Which one will it be?
All right, Nimbus is our map. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Game number one, as we have our final best of three of the night. Spawned down at the bottom right, it's our red Protoss representing NRS. It's Welmu. And down to the bottom left, we have our blue Terran. He's the nemesis, as Welmu's already fallen to him once today. Can he do it again? It's uThermal.
So if you are just joining, I know we talked about it a lot earlier on it. There was a lot of SCV pulls coming out from uThermal.
Yeah.
So, and he won quite convincingly, I'd say, 2-0. And this is a map where we could see the same. They've already played on this map once today.
Yeah, wasn't it exactly the same spawning positions, or am I completely wrong? Was it cross?
It was cross.
It was cross, okay.
But this is the map that Welmu had, I would say.
Yes,
but made a mistake, and unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he I would say, agreeably, sacked his third. He wasn't going to be able to save it. Just defend on this ramp. Make sure you've got a good concave and stuff like that. But his entire army was clumped up, and he walked a little bit too far forwards, and uThermal completely capitalized on that. So now, Welmu just has to kind of iron out these kinks. If he irons them out, I think he has a really good shot on this map especially.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good... I mean, you can sack your third, you can go up the high ground, but... I mean, it might not even come the SCV pull. That's what we're going to have to try and look for here, because we are seeing a gas first build, so... This is already a bit different, but it's going to get scattered really early.
Wait, yeah, because you'll see the progression of the barracks and know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, this barrack should almost be done by now.
Yep. Zippy zapping away against that SCV.
So, you're going to have to build a wall. Maybe 2 walls, depends on how this is going to be played. Is it on the ground? Is it going to get dropped in? It's usually always Hellions.
Wasn't it Sam that we saw defending against it in the previous group that built brilliant walls?
First, I think.
Was it first?
Yeah.
Okay. It was one of our
awesomely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was... which game was it? Oh, first in MMA, I think it was.
Yeah, but the walls that were created during that particular game on this map...
Oh, it was brilliant.
It was really well done, so take a page out of our previous Protoss' books. This poor little SCV may end up dying.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so factory's on this way. It's 1 Marine into a reactor.
Even sends out a second probe to get it, so...
And denies scouting.
Yeah.
Gets it and denies scouting. So no double gas scout, no Nexus scout, no nothing scout.
Good move there by Welmu. I think you need to capitalize when it's only at 5 health and make sure it doesn't get much out of that.
Info, yeah. He only knows that he's down in the bottom right. That's the only information he got. All right, so Hellion numero 1 is being built.
Ultimately, it's very tempting, I think, as a Terran to try and start going for drop plays in these positions anyway, but you know, that's just how it's gone out because of the rotational symmetry.
Yeah, so lots of Marines. We're going to be looking at around 8-ish.
We're going to go up to 4 Hellions, or are we going to go even further?
It's mostly Marines, because the reactor usually switches, and then you build Marines one at a time. It's actually the other way around.
All right.
So not that many Hellions.
Okay.
So we could see 4. Sounds about right.
Starpot's already rallied up there to start ferrying things.
Yep.
So this looks like it's going to be the Hellions dropped, actually, with the way these rallies are working out. Oh,
yeah,
no,
but I think he'll change it. So it should be the 8 Marines in the medevac to drop on the natural, and then the Hellions to run up the ramp.
Yeah.
And right now, the Robo is coming in for Welmu, who now sees a reactor on the barracks. And you're already like, oh, okay, this is a weird version of it, but okay, it's a version nonetheless.
Does he go for extra gateways? Because right now, he only has the 1. The Robo's about to finish up. There's the gateway. There's 1.
But he's got no wall. I mean, he has a wall, but not the wall you'd expect.
No.
It's the wall that is all around this Nexus, instead of trying to wall off on the ramp.
It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, but he's going to have to really take extra precautions. He sees this. Ooh.
Nice move. You cheeky monkey.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Nice move. Catches the Stalker. Won't get research not done yet, and this drop is already happening.
Look at him already pulling back.
It's an armory too. It's going to be Hellbats.
Whoa. Oh, my.
Oh, how well is this going to work?
But look at this. I mean, Welmu's already pulled away from the natural. He's like, well, nope, not having any of that. I'm just going to defend with my lovely wall at my main. And this is doable. Stalkers need to micro well. Photon overcharge needs to happen. He's not going to be blocking off from there.
Didn't want to go in because he'd lose the Hellions. He wants to use this as Hellbats.
Yeah.
There's more Hellions, 2 by 2 now from the factory, and also more Medivacs. Complete one base.
3 Stalkers warping at any given time. The robot hasn't really been too effective. It's as we have an observer out, and he is transitioning back over to that base, but I don't think he fully realizes exactly the extent of this play.
Yeah, you'd be like, we're defended ahead, but you're about to see a lot of Hellbats, man.
Observer, where are you going? Don't go too far out. Okay, so he just stops, so he can actually spot everything.
And then there's Observer that sees the unit still being made as well. But look at this. He's going to drop Hellbats on the Stalkers here.
Uh-oh.
There is not another Photon Overcharge ready. There are 3 gateways, but...
He has to be wondering, where are the other Hellions? No, they can't be them, so he has to be very carefully trying to focus down the medevac. Oh!
You're not going to be dropping those very easily on the Stalkers.
Welmu is feisty here. Probes. He's going to try and cuff the probes. Ooh. He's still being very, very careful about this. The Hellions were trying to block that off from the escape. There is no Photon Overcharge here, though, to keep them healthy, keep them in the game.
There is now.
Yeah, needs to throw that down. Keeping the Mothership Core very nice and tidy behind all of this as well. Welmu's defense, he gets the medevac on the retreat out too.
Very good defense.
Wow.
Very, very good defense.
And now, overall, uThermal is forced to plan B, which is the command center super late.
Triple command center.
Well, yeah. Got to make up some room somewhere, right?
Yeah, very good defense there from Welmu. Excellent control. Great you know, set up with his build. He's done everything right there, and you'd be expecting him to just go take a third right away. There's no need to chill here. You can go take a third. You're in no threat whatsoever. You could even imagine him going for a killing move, but with the setup that he's chosen, the robotics bay, instead of more gateways or an immortal or something, it should be a third. And then like double, you could do anything. Third and double forge.
There's one forge at the back. Is he going to go for a second one? Doesn't look like it just yet. He would have to squeeze that in as my so I think it's just going to be the one forge play here with Colossus Blink and the +1.
Yeah, he could have done double forge. He definitely needs a third.
Yeah. I mean, especially since the Observer as well has seen the third command center. He's like, well, okay, you're not going to be hitting me anytime soon. And if you are, it's not going to be a whole lot. I've still retained quite a few Stalkers during this.
And now this turns into a weird game for uThermal, because it's not like he could just go pull SCVs at any time now. And it's hard to time it out properly against what Welmu could have, does have, and will have. I mean, he's just down building his first or his second and third barracks, and the third Nexus is down.
And this is all seen by Welmu as well, so he knows the extent to the production capabilities of his opponent, which is a little bit terrifying here for uThermal, actually. Although, if he knew that Observer were there, he'd probably pick it off, so I guess he doesn't understand fully.
The only way that uThermal gets back into this, because he is trailing massively, are these drops.
It's going to be double forge. He does finally throw down the second forge a little bit later.
Yeah, these drops, these could be the killers. It is 3 command centers, it is 3 sets of mules, but it's also 54 probes. But if it's all of a sudden 34 probes or 40 probes, then uThermal can get back into this.
But likewise, Welmu has to be taking good precautions. He already is on the left-hand side, and likewise, his army is positioned at the third, because he knows uThermal has to do damage. Otherwise, he is going to be trailing. He sees that the third base has just landed with this Observer. So something has to be coming, surely. Oh, that was clumped up. Those were clumped up pretty severely there.
Well,
he focuses down the medevac, though.
Not a lot of kills.
No. And he's going to try at the...
Oh, God. uThermal, man.
8, 9.
He gets a couple, but... And look at what he's doing at home as well. It's 3 command centers, 3 barracks, double engineering bay, then the 4th and 5th barrack. But he played incredibly greedy. Incredibly greedy.
Well, I mean...
He has to, but...
Yeah. It's like you completely have to here. Either you do and you somehow scramble a victory, or you don't and then you die, or you get hit by something whilst you're playing greedy and then you die. So, you know, it's a low chance of actually getting back into this game, and this is the one way to do it, I guess.
Welmu needs to get the second forge in action.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't really been doing a huge amount.
Because right now there's double Terran upgrades coming in, and we've seen already today what happens if you let a player play greedy and get back in. But Welmu moving across the other side of the map right now. He does have Blink, and he has a lot of units.
Oh, trying to go for that medevac. Does he have any Stalkers left up there? He has a few warping
where's
in.
Where's the Mothership Core?
Was it with the army? I'm not sure. He's going to go for the drop. Kills off one of the medevacs. Meanwhile, he is actually pushing on to that third base as well. There really isn't a huge amount here for uThermal to push that away from. It's really up to this small task force to do some damage at the natural. But
he's Sniper Colossus here.
Yeah, he could. He could Sniper Colossus. He's warping in some units to defend it. The third base has been pushed away over at this left-hand side. He's actually going to get a Nexus here with that double drop, which is a nice start, but at the same time, there's a huge army on his doorstep.
Yeah, he lost his own command center, though, the third one.
Yeah.
And he's hardly got any units here. He's only just now got the second starport up and running to build Vikings, so... uThermal's played this one behind. He's trying to definitely play greedy to catch back up. Lots of drops, lots of greed in his structure, and as you can see now, all the SCVs coming off to try to survive.
Yes, even force fields, he could just keep them at bay, or really away from him, and let these Colossus do what they want, because there's no Vikings to contend with them. There's the force fields, couple of pot shots, bish bash bosh, bye-bye SCVs.
Bish bash bosh, yeah. So it looks like we are going to see a finish victory in game number 1 now. It'd be very surprising to me if somehow uThermal killed off these Colossus and all these Stalkers. And Welmu's got fantastic economy behind this, fantastic production. If he messes this up...
Here we go. Well, pull in once again. Pull in once again. There's +2 weapons on the way, but it's not really going to matter right now. Welmu has this.
Yeah, and it all stemmed from the strategy opening choice by uThermal, the very aggressive one base Hellion Hellbat Marine attack. which was easily deflected by Welmu. Well, not, I shouldn't say easily, because it probably wasn't easy, but was very well pushed back and deflected.
I mean, the idea of it was cool, but in the end, Welmu just had the right defensive capabilities available to him. Force fields again, keeping that at bay.
Yeah.
Viking almost dies. Yeah, to be fair to him, he has 3 Vikings on the way at any given time, so he's doing all right for himself on these 2 bases. But, I mean, Welmu behind this is...
153 supply. He's going to be at 200 now. I mean, that's what Welmu's doing. He's going home. He's like, I have done so much damage to you, and you know it with that scan, buddy. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't.
Well, what did he scan?
The observer at the front or the army
it was
at the
like
front.
outside.
I thought he'd scan like around the third to see the army size, but no.
Yeah.
But yeah, Welmu's going to go to 200 supply. He's got the Temple Archives coming in. He can some Archons.
I love how all of this is lining up to the SCV pull again with the Ghost Academy, and he's like, right, it's time to go.
He's get absolutely smashed, though.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a sad game here for uThermal, but this is going to play out. Welmu now taking his 4th base up to the top right, and Welmu's just keeping an eye on this army. He knows exactly the extent of how strong it's gotten. Does he even see the Ghost Academy? No, he doesn't on the left-hand side, but it doesn't really matter.
There's very little he can do to win this game now. He's going to hope that it's a big blunder of a defense by Welmu or whatever the case. With Storms coming into the mix, 2 upgrades are done here, and it is just simple 1-1 upgrades for the bio. 5, 6 Colossus, 7th on the way, or 6th Colossus and single Immortal.
And here we go. This is going to be the push for uThermal with those 3 ghosts.
Yeah, he's going to walk into Storm. And, I mean, all week, out of all the 4 groups we've seen, this is going to be the most one-sided fight.
Yeah.
There is minimal chances here.
Terran players, avert your eyes.
Yeah, this is a slaughter. This will be a slaughter.
Oh, God, look at the amount of AoE damage he's got available to him.
It.
Brings down the rocks, knows that this push is on the way. And, well... here we go. All right, blinks forwards, gets himself a few Vikings to start the fight off. Nicely done. And here come the High Templars, the flank on the right-hand side. Needs to spread a little bit. There's one good EMP, second one.
It was that one-sided. It didn't even happen.
Oh, what a shame. But uThermal knows when he is beat. He knows.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it all came down to the start of the game, how that shaped up. But well done by Welmu, great defense, set him up beautifully, and he capitalized in every way that he knew he could.
Yeah.
And now he's just one single game away from moving on to the top 16 here in the WCS Premier League, and he would be our 8th player to make it to the top 16 as we are approaching that halfway mark now.
Merry-Go-Round's going to be our second map between these 2 guys, and... after seeing how well Welmu defended that early on, you know, I can only imagine he's going to be anticipating no earlier aggression, but straight to the ideal SCV push by uThermal.
Yeah.
What won him the first series.
Yeah. I think uThermal may go towards that. But, you know, the games against TLO, I thought he'd maybe go back to a normal style of opening in game 2 when he was behind, but he went for a 2-barrack. So... his mentality coming into it when behind doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, now I've got to play real because I'm going to die. He's willing to risk it a little bit with his choices and what he does.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's not afraid. That's the thing. He's not afraid.
He's not afraid.
I think he knows he can hang with these guys, especially after the first series. Like winning that first series of the group, that has to have given him a bit of confidence, right?
Yeah.
So... even if it's just a smidge.
Maybe his confidence starting to drain out a little bit now, though, because he's, lost the game. Welmu's turned it around. Welmu's had a great turnaround today because he started off, 0-3 down in maps, and he's won every single map since. And now he's actually in maps overall today. Welmu 3-3, so he lost 3 and won 3 in a row. And he's looking for his 4th, and this 4th one would put him into the top 16.
Yeah.
And, similar to TLO, Welmu has an outsider's chance at BlizzCon too. He would need a final here to be able to maybe get enough points.
Off the top of my head, Welmu is 32nd and TLO is 35th.
Yeah.
So...
very close. So,
yeah. They're actually right next to each other in the rankings because of how the points work. There's a few people that are ranked 32 because they all have the same points. So they're right next to each other.
I mean, you need... a big finish.
Yeah.
A big finish this season if you want to go. It's still possible for him. Dia last year with his wins in Season 3 just went straight up and qualified for BlizzCon. So if you do, go straight up and get the wins, then absolutely you can still go. But it seems very unlikely nowadays.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, my valuation on TLO being 35th was before this group. So he must have gone up a few points, which is good for him. Good for him. Rise in the ranks. And, okay, so we're going to get into this in just a second. I think Welmu could do this actually 2-0 now. After looking at that game and after evaluating how the previous games have gone, I think it could go 2-0 Welmu.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think Welmu's most likely going to do that. Though I want to see uThermal pull it back. I do want to try and see him go through to the next round.
Okay, so we're just waiting here. We're in the loading screen. One person getting in. There we go. All right, so game number 2 now as our Protoss leads. Let's jump right on in. And spawning up to the top left, we have our red Protoss. Leading 1-0, representing NRS, it is Welmu. And down to the south, our blue Terran representing AT Gaming, it is uThermal.
uThermal. So, I mean, this map can be good for SCV pulls again. I mean, you got the natural that can be used in a similar way for Protoss as the previous map, but
I think all in all, it's very similar to Nimbus in terms of the ramp using for the defense. Yeah. Because you end up sacking your third, you end up just falling back to that ramp and then just holding on.
It reminds me of, I mean, if you think about the Flash parting game in Pro League when Flash did the SUV pull, parting retreated back to the natural, but still couldn't take the fight properly and win it.
Yeah. But that's where you have to fight it, I feel. I think you have very few choices as a Protoss in that situation. You need that narrow gap. You need to be able to try and shut down your opponent from gaining an advantage in tactically.
Command center first.
All right. Really going for it then.
Wowzers. Command center first here. So, and we'll see. This is going to get spotted early. Welmu has multiple reactions to seeing this command center first, but uThermal is going to be on the back foot now for the next good couple of minutes because you're not scouting when you're doing this. You know that when you're going to get scouted early, that you could be facing aggression. He's going to be second-guessing everything. And Welmu goes in and is like, oh, you devil.
And Welmu's no stranger to aggression himself. So you got to be very, very careful here as uThermal. Oop. Oh, he shift queued the attack and then...
Welmu delaying his cybercore here to get the Nexus down faster.
Yeah. So just trying to go toe-to-toe with it.
That's his reaction to this. But of course, uThermal does not know that, so could still be anticipating proxy Stargate, Oracle anyway.
And Welmu's going to lead him to the alternate spawning location.
Yes, he is.
Nasty little guy. Double backs on himself. So a little fake out there by Welmu. Double barracks behind it.
Does he go 3 barracks, though, or does he go to gases after the orbital?
I think he might go gases. Considering how his past SCV pulls have gone with 2 barracks play. But that remains to be seen. We'll find out. Maybe that SCV was coming out.
2 orbital. 3 orbital more.
No. You're making up a lot of songs this season.
Yeah.
You're liking them.
Let's sing a song.
Did someone make a song? I didn't. About the observers before?
Yeah, I did see that.
I actually didn't. I didn't see it. I need to go back and watch.
So it is guesses. Okay. Still, what has uThermal seen? Okay, he's seen a faster Nexus. So coming in, he's like, all right, this guy's slowed down his cybercore to be able to get up to where, or closer to where I am. Now he's going to have a quick look around, sees the gases, all of them, even pylons around the back in case there are any potential tech structures. And he's already spotted 3 pylons in that, right there, that you print screen, you see 3 pylons. So if he decides to scan soon, in the next, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, he'll see that. He knows where to scan because 3 pylons right there. So he'll get exactly the info he needs, whether it's a Twilight, Robo, Stargate follow-up.
It's going to be the engineering bay here for uThermal. So he's basically kicking off with a very, very similar build, but it's just the command center first, right? He's getting away with a bit more power and a bit more greed behind that macro ability to then hit this potentially a little bit faster.
Yep. Engineering bay for that +1. Tech lab for Stim. Slightly mistimed on the tech lab and engineering bay for, I mean, if you get +1 attack, you can't get stim. So it's a little bit off. But he chooses stim, and he does scan in that circle, I would imagine. And he does.
Perfect.
Sees the robo. And adds a third barracks.
So there's a pylon behind the natural, which he could throw down something extra, but aside from that...
How's Welmu going? Robo bay, okay. So pretty standard from Welmu. Oh, nice catch.
For one Marine.
Nice catch, man.
Lovely. Delightful. And uThermal, likewise, getting all the gas.
Yeah, it's pretty fast gases.
Yeah. Barracks, factory. Actually, that third barracks is a little quicker than he was previously doing.
Yep. So he's going to have quite the units.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be... I doubt double forge. Don't know. Is it double forge? Is it single forge in Twilight Council?
If I were... All right, he drops scouts.
He's trying to find out if it is double or not, or Robo Bay or not.
I mean, if you know that your opponent is going to go for that kind of SCV pull at a similar time to what we've seen uThermal do before, do you really push so much gas into double forge?
No, I like the faster Twilight Council and the faster switch over.
Yeah.
This might be it.
Yeah,
because, I mean, if you think now that Welmu may have made this decision based on the fact that his opponent just saw the Robo Bay and just now saw and now knows that he's playing against Colossus, but now you can switch away.
Yeah.
No thermal lance has been researched. Single Colossus keeps the image alive, and he may switch fast into Temple Archives.
Yeah, he may.
So a lot of gas here.
And that's...
600 gas.
The gates quite rapidly as well. Immortal is on the way.
Well, no, Warp Prism now. He's changed his mind.
Hello. All right, then.
Zealot charge. So I think we are going to see the Temple Archives come into play.
Yeah, there it is.
So a good switch here from Welmu. And I think it really does come down to the fact that uThermal had that second scan and saw the Robo Bay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And the way that Welmu's been playing today has been Colossus focused all day. And that's, I guess we didn't really talk about it, but one of Welmu's key strengths is that he can play any style.
Oh, no, we talked about the versatility previously. Okay. We've talked about that, man. He has the ability to just change things up like this. And this is prime key. This is exactly what he does. He's added on plenty of gateways as well, so he's going to have the power behind this. And uThermal right now is just kind of going straight down the same path.
Yeah. And if he keeps building, well, he hasn't started Vikings yet.
Not yet, but he's not even got his 4 medevacs out yet, so...
Yeah, but then he does. He's going to be walking into a wall here. It depends on how fast he starts to realize what's going on. The energy in the medevac's not very high, so we're not really likely to see a snipe with the feedbacks.
And Welmu's going to have to go for the kind of feedback, as well as, you know, Zealot defenses, because he doesn't have Blink, right? So it's going to be more about that. But here's the drop, and uThermal's got to be a bit like, wait a minute, what was that?
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, why aren't you making Colossi?
The way that uThermal should play this is third base, second engineering bay, and just kind of plays normal. But you cannot be pulling SCVs into this.
Oop, these pylons do not see this double drop at the back here. He's poking forwards, trying to assess how much is there, but there wasn't actually anything until that pylon on the very edge did spot it. So Welmu reacted. Good reaction times there by Welmu. Very, very fast.
Still Vikings.
Storm's about to finish.
And the High Temple are hidden. Just everything's perfect here from Welmu.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult for uThermal to achieve.
Trickety trick, trick, trick.
That's what he does. He's the trickster, man. I still recall Welmu means something like trickster, so that's what it is. Anyway.
No Ghost Academy this game. And he switched back to Medivacs. No third command center either, yo. I don't want to buy production. Third!
Ooh.
Woo!
Oh!
I think he's starting to realize. I'm not sure what he's seen, though. I mean, I've been following his screen here.
He only saw... wait, what did he see? Oh.
There you go.
I'm not quite sure how he got in there.
There you go.
I'm sorry for missing it.
So he knows that the trick has been pulled.
Yeah.
So he's switching into a regular game now. Widow Mines for the Zealots.
Ooh. Gets the force and the cancellation.
The trick was not allowed to work.
No. But at the same time, there are Zealots here doing the business. And one Widow Mine. Oh, you could have killed that before it burrowed, but oh well. Oh, that's a big blast. Oh, well. And big fight actually going on in the middle as well. uThermal looking for... He's on the hunt, man. There are storms here. Oh, doesn't want to get hit. Especially that northern side does get hit as well. And he's keeping this Colossus alive, all importantly. But it might end up falling to Marauders. No! Ah! Yes, no. Oh, close. Has to pick up and get out of there. But he killed off not many workers. I'm like, about to say, yeah, he's killed off so many workers. And I'm like, wait, no, never mind.
Okay, this... go for a bit of a longer game here then.
Yeah. How do you think this all works out, really? Do you think this is kind of even Stevens, or do you think Welmu with the tech kind of spread and versatility is doing better? What do you think?
I think Welmu's a little bit weak right now.
Yeah?
With only 2 High Templar left, he's going to have a hard time keeping his third.
Yeah, that's true.
Which means that the third of uThermal is going to really ramp up his army size.
God, they die so fast to these expansions. So, and this one Colossus is straying really far forwards. Oh, Welmu. Here come the storms, but, I mean...
You can't be losing the High Templar all the time, though, which
no.
is who he's had to, because he's even transforming them. And look at this, he's just kind of fighting in low unit battles, which is not good.
Yeah, he's kind of floundering, I gotta say. This is kind of a floundering fish, really not being able to find footing, any kind of grasp on anything.
Yeah. There is a Zealot counterattacks, but we need to see Welmu just stabilize.
Yeah.
So a lot of Zealots, High Templars being added in. But if this third gets, you know, properly mined from for uThermal. But these counterattacks have been good. And actually, look at Welmu. He's pouncing.
He's going for it.
He's going to come over here. He's bringing a pylon. He's bringing a probe.
Army supply is dead even here.
He's got a lot of Zealots. There's 4 mines, though.
Yeah, the mines just shut this down. That's the problem. He doesn't have any Colossi in this army at all. So...
And now +2 attack is done as well. I guess +2 armor's not far away from finishing here for Welmu, but it's not ready yet.
Sends one Zealot in to scope things out, but there's already an Observer over here anyway. At least the Observer can try and spot these Widow Mines once this engagement comes, but ultimately, I mean, the Widow Mines are going to burrow, and even if they just get one shot off on a wave of Zealots, it's going to be a big deal. It really hurt. Well, there's 1 storm, 2 storms, 3 storms, really not doing massive amounts of damage. The Zealots charge in. There is a Widow Mine under there. Those Zealots need to get out of there. Actually separates 1 Zealot back via concussive shells, actually, that slowed it down, so it only takes the brunt of the damage.
Welmu's got a lot of units, man.
Yeah, he does. 73 armor supply against 51. He could keep going. How many Widow Mines? Still 4, trying to create this wall. There is 1 Widow Mine with charge, but... it doesn't really do the business. It doesn't do what it needs to.
It's 1 medivac.
Oh! If he gets 1 more storm like that, then this is over. He's already ransacking the natural. uThermal is really up against it here. He has an all right army, but if it gets hit by a storm, if the Zealots are left on top of it, this is bad. This is bad for uThermal.
Yeah. How many SCVs does he have now?
What the?
I don't know why those are there or how they got there.
Yeah, I guess they retreated from the third and were running around. But what were you saying, asking, sorry?
SCV count. 37, 43, yeah, but 2 base Protoss is, you know, okay here.
Yeah, he can fly this. He can still fly this. And the main is mining out, so he can fly that as well eventually, which is quite nice for him. Why was he flying over here? What on earth is this?
Not sure, Claris. Not sure what's going on there.
Well, all right then.
I don't think he really wants to land there, does he?
Well, he's going that way. Look.
Okay. Not too sure what to make of that. He's got his Widow Mine defense down, though, so he cannot be broken.
Army supply 83 to 70, and the expansion is on the way where the command...
What is he doing?
Okay,
now it's like
he's
coming
turned around.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to plan it over here, actually. Change my mind.
Maybe this wasn't such a good location.
All right, so 2-2 upgrades for Terran, and the Ghost Academy coming in. Obviously, the Ghost Academy is ideal against what Welmu has, but Welmu has stabilized very nicely in this game.
Oh, how much energy does that medevac have? Not enough. So, no. Oh, well.
Been quite a low economy game, this one.
8 High Templars. I mean, I'm not sure, really, if Welmu went with his army and landed some storms.
Yeah.
I mean...
The Widow Mines have to be a little less defensive right now.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, getting that pylon's nice.
Yeah. He needs the Widow Mines over at this third.
Yeah. Not very good Zealots. Nice try, but...
Oh, his Widowmines do so much damage!
They are pretty brutal.
He's sacrificing the third again.
Can't hold it. Can't hold it.
He's found the new third with the scan. Because he had the drop up to the top. He's like, all right, two bases, this is my dig. But now he's found the new third. I'm going to have a drop inside the main. Thermal.
Oh, it wasn't quite boosting in. This is a bit of a slow drop right now. Abandoned ship! Abandoned ship!
Okay, no.
Oh.
No. And there's another drop on the thirds. Or will be shortly. Now uThermal's back mining from this base. It's going to come down to the engagement, really. It's just because these Widow Mines can offer so much potential damage.
You can see this down to the south, so you can just retreat and reinforce. Not lose too many probes in the end. Force this away. So, but focusing down the medevac.
Yeah.
And...
there's so much Protoss, though.
Yeah, this really
the supplies are very even, and this. I mean, the army supplies are very even, but it all comes down to the Widow Mines and the EMPs.
Yeah. And well, he only has 3 Vikings. There's 1 Colossus in this mix, which is kind of annoying. He's adding on extra Colossi because he knows his opponent can't commit to dealing with both the Colossi and the High Templars that he already has here, trying to lay down storms. A lot of those Zealots just absolutely evaporate under the storms, as well as that Widow Mine. Got to be very, very careful about how you're spending those storms. But because there is still quite a bit of bio behind all of this.
Yeah, look at these Immortals doing so much damage here behind these Archons.
Yeah, very, very big. But at the same time, the bio continues to push on forwards. He needs more Zealots here to help on out. And is there enough bio to push on through? He's trying to get on top of these Immortals. There's 1 EMP on the Immortal, but the second Colossus comes forward.
Yeah,
and that could be Welmu's chance.
There's no answers, and now you've just got to warp in Stalkers. Now you've gone and made a full switch around to Colossus Stalker again. And the only thing that's missing is Blink on these Stalkers, but you don't need it. You just got to get rid of the Vikings, and your Colossus will do everything for you.
You're right. The Protoss Wheel of Mystery continues.
Yeah.
What will you build next?
There are some mines here, but there's an Observer moving into position.
Gets himself a Viking with the Stalkers.
Yeah.
Killing off the mines. He just has the range.
It's such a great day today.
Yeah.
But it looks like Welmu's going to come out on top here with the 2 zeros. He comes charging in, and there's nothing left.
Yeah, it was a very, very back and forth group overall. uThermal puts up a hell of a fight. But there you go, GG. Congratulations to Welmu, who shakily advances into the round of 16.
Yeah, so he loses the first series against uThermal, but is able to win the second one, which happens very often in this type of format, in this type of bracket. You play once, you lose, you come back, win the next one, because you've got a bit more information on how the guy's going to play. But so congratulations to Welmu and TLO, the 2 bigger names in today's group who do advance through. Some may not expecting to see both of them through, but they are both through. Our 2 veterans of the WCS Europe, of course, TLO 6 times now in the Premier League, and Welmu 5 times in Premier League, and they are here to move to the top 16.
That's a really good day of games, actually. A really good day of games. Very, very diverse in the end, with TLO and Welmu advancing on. So I also had high hopes of our challengers, though. I thought LiveZerg might have a little bit of a chance. You thought uThermal might.
Yeah.
But in the end, they got trumped.
Yeah, and before we do close out tonight, I do want to bring up one thing as well. Is, of course, you've been watching the games all week, but now today, officially, GameHeart has joined together with Blizzard to join the WCS. So from here on out, I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more GameHeart in the future, and I know a lot of you do like that. All the big tournaments around the world do use them, and a lot of hard work has gone into GameHeart, and now it's officially together, and now officially in WCS. So we'll be seeing a lot more of that the next few weeks and months.
Awesome stuff. I got to get used to a new UI, I think, for some observing over the next 4 days of WCS round of 32. Don't forget that tomorrow, actually, we're flying out to Intel Extreme Masters Toronto, a WCS global event with a ridiculous lineup of players.
Right, yes, we are traveling in the morning here in less than 12 hours. It's actually very, very close to flying out. So we're going immediately to Toronto to continue the World Championship Series, but at a tiered event here, a global event, and we have some of the best players around the world travel into that to get themselves on those juicy points, as BlizzCon is so close around the corner now.
And then finally, if Intel Extreme Masters isn't your flavor, after we're back from the Intel Extreme Masters, we will have our next WCS round of 32 groups commencing on September the 3rd with Group E, which includes Vortex, Harstem, Jack-G, and Cass. So that's a very, very good group. Same time, same place.
Lots of StarCraft action every day, all the time.
All right. So without further ado, that does it from here at WCS Europe. Bye for now.